The air was thick with tension. It was February 28, 2025. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky stood in the Oval Office. Across from him, a fuming Donald Trump. This wasn't the reunion anyone expected. Not after years of war. Not after the unwavering support the US had shown Ukraine. The meeting was supposed to be a show of solidarity, a public affirmation of the bond between two nations. Instead, it descended into chaos. Shouting echoed from behind closed doors. Insiders reported Trump enraged, berated Zelensky. He accused him of being ungrateful, of not doing enough to end the war. Trump, sources say, compared Zelensky unfavorably to Putin. He questioned his commitment to peace. Zelensky, known for his stoicism, reportedly held his ground. He refused to apologize for defending his nation. Sources say he reminded Trump that Ukraine hadn't started this war. This wasn't a diplomatic disagreement, this was a public fracturing of a critical alliance, and the world was watching. The aftermath of the meeting was immediate and brutal. Trump abruptly canceled the joint press conference. Gone was the photo op meant to showcase unity. Scrapped was the planned rare earth minerals deal. This agreement, years in the making, would have given the US access to vital resources. Zelensky and his delegation were essentially shown the door. Trump declared Zelensky unwelcome back, until he was ready for peace. The message was clear: fall in line or face the consequences. The US even went so far as to terminate a $25 million aid package. This money, earmarked for Ukraine's energy infrastructure, was desperately needed. The damage, some officials whispered, could be irreparable. Senator Lindsey Graham, once a staunch Trump ally, suggested Zelensky might need to consider resigning. The situation was dire. The alliance, forged in the fires of conflict, was on the brink of collapse. The world reacted with a mixture of shock and condemnation. European leaders who had long stood with Ukraine were quick to voice their support. French President Macron called for calm and reiterated the importance of transatlantic unity. British Prime Minister Starmer denounced Trump's actions as reckless and dangerous. Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau offered Canada's unwavering support to Ukraine. Russia, however, was jubilant. The Kremlin, long seeking to drive a wedge between the US and Ukraine, saw the meeting as a victory. Russian state media trumpeted the news, portraying the US as an unreliable ally. The Kremlin wasted no time in exploiting the rift, using it to bolster their own narrative, and sow further discord. The implications were far-reaching. The meeting, meant to solidify the partnership, had done the opposite. It had exposed the fragility of the US-Ukraine relationship, and it had emboldened Russia, giving them hope that the West's resolve was crumbling. The future of the US-Ukraine relationship remains uncertain. The Oval Office blow-up exposed deep fissures, raising questions about the longevity of the alliance. Trump's erratic behavior, his conflicting statements about Zelensky, and his willingness to throw the partnership into jeopardy for seemingly personal reasons have left many wondering about his true intentions. Zelensky, for his part, has remained defiant. He has refused to bow to Trump's pressure, making it clear that Ukraine will not be bullied into submission. He has walked a tightrope, thanking the US for its support while simultaneously pushing back against Trump's accusations. The situation is fluid, a delicate dance between two volatile leaders. The stakes are incredibly high. The outcome of this geopolitical drama will have lasting consequences, not just for the US and Ukraine, but for the entire world.